Say hi, Bubs. Say hi, Thor. Hi, honey. I know. We're a mess over here, huh? Yeah, we're a mess, you and me. He's a good boy. You are. You're a good boy. I know. I know. I know your eye not feel so good. It's okay though. We're making it better. Hello there, everybody. How's it going? It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, and I am finally back. That was kind of punny. On this Wednesday, August 8th, 2018, with my next update video. My apologies for the delay. So, just a real quick recap of why it's taken me 2 weeks to get back. I guess a week. I'm a week late. Anyway. So, last Wednesday. Do you guys ever get up in the morning and you're just like, wow, I am cranky? Like, I slept on the wrong side of the bed. I am testy. I got an attitude to rival that of a 13-year-old. I was just not in the right headspace, I guess, on Wednesday. Like, I was cranky. And so I tried to get out of it. And as you guys know, I filmed and uploaded that demo of my PVC stand. And so you'll be seeing a link up here. And there's also one down in the description box for that video if you want to check it out. So I was trying to get out of this funk. It didn't happen. It didn't help. And so I just said, you know what, it's fine. I'll hold off. I'll do the video on Thursday. Last week we were celebrating my 5-year FlossTube anniversary. And so real quick shout out to everybody who said happy anniversary last week. That was phenomenal. I felt the love. Believe you me, I felt the love. So I thought, this is great. I'll film on Thursday. It'll be just fine. We ended up with a tornado in the area. Not here. I didn't know how far or close it was. All I know is that I was getting ready to film, and I got the alert. Seek shelter now. Tornado warning. Tornado spotted in the area. So I grabbed Thor real quick, and we went and sat in the closet for a good 20 to 30 minutes. Waiting for the threat to pass. It was about 25 miles away, and tornadoes in this area, I'm not in Tornado Alley, so while conditions were right, obviously, for tornadoes, it wasn't here. So anyway, by the time all of that's said and done, and by the time the thunderstorm passed, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's way too late for me to start filming. It's way too late. So yeah, that was just not going to happen on Thursday. And so I thought, all right, that's fine. So I said, okay, I'm going to get up Friday morning first thing, and I'm going to film, because it's still within the week of my anniversary. So it's fine. I'll just film on Friday and we'll see what happens. And I just never did. And I had plans Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So like there was no way, if I didn't film first thing in the morning, it was not going to happen. And that's what it boils down to. I just didn't. So here we are. As expected, because it's been 2 weeks, I have quite a few things to show you. And I'm not entirely sure how this video is going to go because I can't sit up for very long. So the long story short is that my back is a little out of whack right now. I'm just dealing with like a touch of back pain. It's a combination of things: bad sleep, bad sleeping spot, I have a minor back condition, and as a result, like I can't sit in a hard seated chair for very long. And on Saturday night, I was sitting in a hard seated chair for about 5 hours. So, yeah, it's just not a good combination. And then there was housework, and doing my stitching doesn't hurt me, but doing housework does. So, I'm still kind of feeling the effects of it. It's minor, it's not a big deal. But I am on a heating pad. You might be able to see the pillow back behind me so that the heating pad is at my back. Just trying to keep me comfortable while I do this video because I don't want it to go another week. And so yeah, we're just gonna see what happens here today. I got a lot to talk about, but I'm trying to keep this under an hour if I can. So we'll see. See what happens. So let's just go ahead and jump right in then, huh? No more preamble. So I would really like to do something special for my anniversary last week. However, I am ill prepared to do so today. So I think that I am going to hold off on said special something until I reach another milestone. So if that means that if I reach 4,000 subscribers, which is a number I can't even comprehend, then perhaps that special something will happen then. Or, I mean, who knows? I'm ill prepared to do it right now, and so we're just going to hold off on that for a little bit. Okay, so up next we're going to get into the works in progress. This week I don't have any Q&A, nothing specific to this video. A couple of questions to respond to with regards to my PVC stand demo, but those are more personal, and then no ISO. So yeah, we're just going to jump right on in. Okay, so the last time we spoke, I was in the midst of working on The Berry Collector by Nora Corbett. So we're going back a little bit here. And I had talked about the fact that I was planning on working on her until done or through Saturday, whichever came first. And so, yeah. So here's what she started to look like. And you'll be seeing a preview here of what she looked like last time. And most of you already know this, but I did indeed finish her on Saturday. Super proud. So there is my berry collector all done. If you guys want a close-up of her, let me know and I will see if I can get that done, see if I can get that accomplished. And I can also talk more about the beads that I chose, if necessary. But there she is, all finished. In total, 9 stitching days, which is a little insane. If I do say so myself, 9 stitching days is wicked fast. She's not large per se, but she's detailed and she's got a ton of beads. There are over 600 beads in her, as you might be able to tell by the sparklies. Oh, I love her. So this fabric is 32 count Belfast linen in Autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I started her for Mania 2016 and finished her up on July 28th? Something like that. I can't remember. It's been a little while. But that's okay. The only changes I made were I stitched her skin 1/1 as I do. I subbed out the beads for delicas. Some of them are the conversion, and some of them either the conversion bead was not available or I didn't like the conversion that they chose. And then I also used Petite Treasure Braid instead of the Crynet called for. It's only used in her crown and her wing. And I think me see, the Kreinik is this pale yellow. Let me see if you can see that. You can kind of see the sparkle up there in her crown. And I think the Petite Treasure Braid I used instead was PB201. I think that's the number. This design features 2 Karen water lilies. This is really kind of a pricey Nora Corbett design. 2 water lilies, 6 colors of beads. Yeah, she's not one of the cheaper ones by any stretch. But one of the Karen water lilies is featured here in this like berry cluster. And it's called Distant Hills. And I meant to bring this skein, what I have left over, because it doesn't use a whole lot. It's gorgeous. It's this beautiful like purple and green combination that I really adored it. So much so that I almost used it again later, but I didn't end up using it. And then this other one is Kelp by Karen Water Lilies. This grass down here, that's probably the most time-consuming part of this whole piece, except for the skin. That took some brain power to get at least close to right. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, that took some brain. But it was good. And then I did my signature. I had just the right length of the kelp. So I did that down there. It kind of looks like a little pebble down there. So yeah, so there's my berry collector, 9 days, 9 stitching days. I would like to get her framed. I think that my plan is to do a combination. I'd like to do a double matte, and then the frame, so purple, gold, and green, the Mardi Gras colors. So I have to decide whether I want the frame to be green or gold or purple, and then the mattes, how to organize that. So I've got to play with that a little bit. I guess I'm gonna have to go to a craft store and have them cut the mats, since I don't have mats, and find a frame and do what I need to with it. But I would really like to get her framed soonly. So stay tuned for that. She will make another appearance. Oh, she's so cute. So cute. So there is my berry collector. So I finished that up on Saturday and I felt so good getting it done. It was a lot of fun to work on, and I really like the finishes, and I like finishing my Stitch Mania pieces. I like finishing some of my older projects. It was all good all around. So Sunday morning, I get up, and once I get stitching, it's time to start the JMDS Turns 5 Sal. And so a real huge thank you to everybody who stitched along with me last week. I hope that you had fun with it. I hope that, and I know that this happened, I know that a ton of you came up with some of the greatest stories for why a project fit. Even if it was loose, hey, that's okay, that's fine by me. I didn't want this to be high pressure at all. And so I'm just really grateful to anybody who participated. I love looking at the hashtag for JMDS Turns 5. It's so much fun to see all of the various projects that are in there. Seriously, check it out. It's fun. Okay, so my first project for that Sal was January by the Cricket Collection. And I'll be honest, I didn't stitch on this a whole lot. Call it finish hangover, call it exhaustion, call it whatever you will. I didn't get near as much done as I wanted to. I wanted to finish the J. So preview here of what this looked like the last you saw it. I am stitching this on a 28 count cashel linen in ice blue by Zweigart. And I did a little bit, but I only worked in one color. And I worked on the angel here. So, I mean, listen, it was like, I think it was like a total of 500 stitches. No, it wasn't that much. Maybe like 300, which isn't terrible. Don't get me wrong. I had big ambition, which is kind of always my problem. Um, so yeah, so I worked on the angel. It's not white. It's like 37.56 or something like that. No, it's not. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. So that's what I did. So I worked on this for Jay, and I would really like to get back to this series. I have to figure out a way to do it, but I'd really like to have this series done by the end of next year, so that I can display them in 2020, which is insane. But I think that would be really great if I could somehow find a way to get this series done. I have 4 of the 12 done. Do I have 4? April, May, June, and July. Yeah, I have 4 done. I have 3 currently on the go. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a way to get this project done. So that was my project for J. M, I was to work on Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. And then D, the following day, the 1st of August, nope, the 31st of July, I had planned on working on Beauty and the Beast by Donna Stitch. However, I wasn't ready to put down Lady of the Flag just yet. So I kept working on it for that day as well. And she was Lady of the Flag. It's pretty rough, but sometimes you just gotta make it work. But I'm gonna show you that to you here in just a minute. So then on the 1st of August was S. And for me, I chose Heaven and Earth Designs Snow Castle. And so here's what this will look like finished. The artist is Randall Spangler. And I'm not going to insert a preview of where this was last time because I didn't do much. I just wasn't in the mood for this at all. And I think that really what it boils down to is that I was really happy to have put this piece down. I was really happy with the progress that I made, and I was content with what I had done, and so I didn't want to pull it out again. But I did, to be good with myself. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's gorgeous. So that's what I did. That little 140 stitches there on page 4. That's it. I was okay with not working on this that day. Not much more anyway. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so then day 5 was the bonus day. Day 5 was August 2nd, my official anniversary, so last Thursday. It was work on whatever you want, work on something that I enabled you to buy, work on something I enabled you to start, work on the same project as the day before, do whatever you want. New starts, literally whatever you want. So I had worked on a Mirabilia and Heaven and Earth design. I needed to work on a chatelaine. Should I pull out one of my older chatelaines? Probably should have, but instead I started one. But it all, like I talked about last time, it all just kind of works. So I started Jessica Stitches by Chatelaine, which was workshop number 01. I think I misspoke last time. I think I said it was workshop 3, but it's 1. Workshop 1, Jessica Stitches. And so I started it on Thursday, and I got a fair of the outline done on Thursday. Most of the outline, not quite all of it. And then Friday, I was up until 2 in the morning for Sammy J's birthday, and so I stitched quite a bit for that. And Saturday, I stitched a whole bunch, like 90, I just about finished it, and then Sunday morning I got up and I was like, you know what, it's fine, I'm just going to finish it. So I did. So at some point you will have seen a preview of what this is charted to look like finished, very loosely. And here is mine. Trying to figure out the best way to do this so that you guys can get the sparkle, because this baby is sparkly. Yeah, you can get that. So this is done on 32 count Belfast in Friendship Green by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And the only called for color thread that I used was the purple you see on the outline. That's a DMC. The rest were threads chosen from the stash. Okay. So there's that. All right, shall we put in another back pun? You guys want to see my back? Whew, it's a little mess. It's a little bit of a mess. So those bellflowers, they are almost entirely repeated on the back. Almost entirely. Those stitches, this is the first time that I will ever say this, or that I have ever said this. It may be the last time that I ever say it. Those are as complicated as they look. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. I mean, a Jessica stitch is pretty simple, and Martina does a good job. I hesitate there, and I'll explain that here in a second. She does a pretty good job of explaining how to do a Jessica stitch. And she diagrams most of them. Not all of them in this one. In fact, I was saying that she's pretty snarky because at one point she goes, in the pattern, it says something to the effect of, this is a workshop, and at this point you should know how to do a Jessica stitch. So I'm not going to diagram this variation for you. That was kind of funny. The bellflowers are massive, and they eat thread. In order to achieve this, it took a whole 3-foot piece to do that, I think. I think that's what the lengths that I ended up having to do. 3-foot length. I took a whole piece of that, barring about 6 inches. So 2.5 feet of one piece of thread to achieve that little bellflower. Which is understandable. Jessica stitches eat thread to begin with because you're making that full leg on both sides. So it's totally understandable. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying about Martina's diagrams, she diagrammed how to do the bellflower. However, it doesn't quite line up with the way that it is charted in the pattern. So there were certain legs where in her diagram, it would tell you to pull the thread up here, but that was not how the bellflower was diagrammed on the chart. So I couldn't really follow her diagram. I had to follow the chart so that it would fit in this space. So that was a little bit confusing. One of them is messed up. I'm not going to tell you which one, and you'll never know. And if you do, then you need to back up. I loved this. 4-day chatelaine. It would have taken me 3 days, but because we went board gaming on Saturday night, I finished it up Sunday morning, but that was okay. Oh, I love this. And my plans for this FFO-wise, I'd really like to put it on a box. Like a box. Maybe an octagonal box. Maybe not. Because I bet an octagon, is it an octagon? Yes. That might be kind of hard to find. So maybe a circular box or something. Or maybe, I don't know. I'd like to put this on the lid of a box. So anyway, I'm really excited about this. I highly recommend Martina's workshops because she gives you all the variations. And it's giving me some ideas about maybe changing my signature a little bit. But more on that at a later date. I have to play with it. I have to practice it. So, chatelaine, all done. So let me see. At this point in the year, I have had 9 new starts and 9 official finishes. I'm doing all right. Single digits on the new starts. That's about to change here, but that's fine. So anyway, so there is that. So I finished that up first thing Sunday morning. At this point, Arbitrary August is in full swing. Everybody participating in Arbitrary August was making me feel the FOMO something fierce. I was like, oh man, I want to random number generate and pull out some of my old whips. Like, I'm really jealous. And then EJ Creates on Instagram introduced us all to Tiny Decisions, which is an app, and it's just this colorful wheel that just randomizes and chooses something for you. And so you're seeing this popping up kind of all over the place on Instagram right now of people using this wheel to pick their whip for the day. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that real bad. So I finished that chatelaine on Sunday morning. And I was like, you know what? I think it would be really great if I could jump in on Arbitrary August, but I'm going back and forth on the matter. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask Tiny Decisions what I should do. So I created a wheel, and there are 2 options repeated around. Lady of the Flag, like I planned, or Arbitrary August, because FOMO is real. And so I hit the button, and it pulled up Lady of the Flag, like I planned. So I pulled out Lady of the Flag again. As I talked to you guys about, I had intended on working on her Sunday through today to try to get, if not the goal completed, then my August goal, like a good jump on it. So I pulled her out on Sunday, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to work on her for 2 days. And then on Tuesday morning, I'm going to do this again. I'm gonna spin that wheel again, and it pulled up Lady of the Flag again. So I'm like, all right, fine, universe, I get it. I'm working on Lady of the Flag. So I made the executive decision to keep working on her through today. It works out fine because I'm not really too keen on getting on the floor and trying to switch out projects right now. But man, I can't wait to get started on Arbitrary August. So much fun. So this is the Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia, of course. Preview here of what she looked like the last time you saw her. She's still in the frame, and I haven't done a whole lot since the start of August, just because back issues, I can't sit in my stitching chair for very long. Say lovey. But here's where I'm at. Oh, let me pull down these threads. Because I have threads parked. This one needs to be cut. I have threads parked in my September goal. So those 2 days that I worked on her in July, at the end of July for the JMDS Turns 5s out, I was able to get my July goal finished, and I was so excited about that. I was so geeked to do that. And I think that's part of the reason why I chose to work on it for D as well, because I was close enough that I could knock that goal out. So that felt really good. So I'm only a little bit behind now, rather than like a whole month. Because I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done today. On top of my back hurting, I'm filming today, and that always kind of impacts stitching time. Plus, it's Big Brother Wednesday, so we'll see. Anyway, so I am loving how this is coming together. This fold right here, I love that depth of color right there. Oh, she's upside down. I didn't realize that. There we go. So you guys can kind of see where I'm at. So I'm in there. And this picture is pretty rough, but it's a good idea of what it looks like. So anyway, so that's where I'm at with Lady of the Flag. And like I said, I'll work on her today, and then I'll start Arbitrary August tomorrow. Let's kind of keep going with the plans a little bit. And my plans are kind of up in the air because I've got Arbitrary August tomorrow. As I talked about last time, my Arbitrary August is a 2-day rotation. So I'll work on that project, whatever I random generate tonight, I'll work on it tomorrow and Friday. Saturday, I'm starting Fairy Moon by Mirabelli. I'm so excited. And that is in part for World Cross Stitch Day, which is this Saturday, August 11th, and also my friendiversary with Belinda, Aussie Stitcher. And so we'll be doing that on Saturday. So I'm working on that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday is another Arbitrary August, and I've got Arbitrary August for a good week, I think, after that. Good couple of weeks almost. So no real official plans except for Fairy Moon at the weekend. So that's it for plans. Let's switch over and let's talk about some recent acquisitions. I have a few things, but you're going to notice a distinct lack of purchases here moving forward. I have one last significant purchase to make because I have a new start coming up on October 1st, and so I've got to gather some materials for that. But other than that, I think that I'm probably pretty set for the rest of the year, barring FOMO. So these are a couple of things that I talked about last time. They were coming in that same day. And so the first of which is my latest Momily bag. Oh, I love this. Spider web with some moths and different buggies. Kind of trapped. Yeah, some of them are trapped. And then there's the back. I need to press this because this one's got a crease in it, but that's okay. I'll press it. This one is my favorite. I love that. Oh, it's beautiful. And then the lining is green with white polka dots or cream polka dots. Beautiful. Absolutely love this. And so I'm going to try to be done with the old project bag for a little while. I'll try. Really, what's making me say that is that I am currently $100 behind in Stitch from Stash. And it's only August, so it's only the second month of this semester of Stitch from Stash. Already in the hole quite a bit. So, need to tone down the purchases. Okay, then I have FOMO. Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs. We all know why I got this. 'Tis the season sale kicks off Labor Day or Labor Day weekend. I don't think I'm doing it though. Let me open up to the full design. This is the French version. They also provide an English version. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. So I got this because I have FOMO, and it's okay. It's all right. Because I thought, you know what, it's fine. I can start it. But I don't think that I'm going to because I really like to do this in the Belle Soie. And I just don't really feel like spending the money on the Belle Soie. And I know that everybody's doing the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop threads that Nancy's putting together. She's putting together a thread pack for this. But I don't want to spend the money for those threads either. And so could I come up with threads from my own staff? Probably. But I want to do the silks. So maybe later. Maybe later I'll do this. And honestly, Lynette from Homesteading in the Homefront, she posted a poll about doing the Christmas garden sampler possibly next year. I'm here for this. Yeah, I love that. There are a total of 4 colors in this, and it's just absolutely stunning. So yeah, I think I could probably be swayed to do this next year. Maybe not as many Year New Start, but nonetheless, that's gorgeous. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Regardless, I love this whole book. It was definitely worth. It wasn't even that expensive. It's like $20, I think. I love this whole book. I would stitch everything in this book. Ugh, yeah, love it. So there is that. So I made the decision. All right, I'll get the book. I'll get the book. And no chart, book or otherwise, should travel alone. So I started with Kitten Stitcher. I started with her website to see if she had it. She had these other two potential traveling buddies, but not home for the holidays. So then I was like, all right, well, I know everybody's getting theirs from Julie Gulf Coast Stitches, so I went to her website, and she had home for the holidays, but she didn't have this other one that I was after. I think she had the second option for a traveling buddy. But I made the decision to go a different route. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this from Gulf Coast Stitches. So then I was like, Jen's Stitching Niche. So I went over to Jen's Stitching Niche, and she had both home for the holidays as well as this. Quick shout out here to Leslie of Fat Cat Flossin'. This is the Sew It Sampler by Birds of a Feather. And y'all can guess what got me on this. It's the font. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. I kind of like that. I like that sentiment. But I also just really dig the font. I think that if and when I stitch this, well, see, I was just thinking that I would skip the alphabet on the top and bottom, but then it gets a little wonky down here, so I don't know. Anyway, it's a sweet little thing. It's a little, total stitch count is 81 square, so like real small. Just barely bigger than the chatelaine that I finished in 4 days. So not a big deal. But I was, Leslie showed this in one of her videos recently, and I went, I want that. So I was in the right mindset to go ahead and grab it. And then, less interesting, but part 7 of the Farmhouse Christmas Cock-a-doodle-doo. I love this. I love the roof. It's going to be a giant pain in the butt to stitch that roof, but I love it. I do love it. I'll love it even more when it's done. The roof is going to be a pain to stitch, and then just all of that white. But anyway, I haven't gotten back to this series since I finished part 1, the Red Barn. I really need to get on that. Anyway, so that is it for the purchases, real quick, like I said. Okay, so let's switch over to knitting. Is going to be really short, and that is because I haven't knit since I last spoke to you. But I did make a purchase. So I talked about Eat, Sleep, Knit and their exclusive colorways last time. That's more accurate back there. It's like Tiffany blue with speckles. So I got the email July 31st. Nope, July 30th, the night of July 30th. Hey guys, our exclusive dyer this month is Madeline Tosh. And she has dyed up 4 Under the Sea themed colorways. Go get it now because you're 10K club. And so I got over there as fast as I could because I knew that these would sell out fast. And I knew that this color in particular was going to go quick. Look at those speckles. There's rich blues. Here, let me peel it open. It's not highly speckled, but there are some speckles in there. I love the dirt mud color. Ugh, this is gorgeous. So this is luciferase, and no plans for it, but it's beautiful. So one of the badges this year, I think I talked about it, is collecting 2 of the exclusive colorways for the year. So now I'm done. I've got that. And each of these, when you purchase yarn from Eat Sleep Knit, you get one of these, which is a yarn lotto card. You scratch it off and there's various prizes. And sometimes it's a dud, so sometimes you don't get anything. Typically, most often, the most frequent one that I get is a $5. Sometimes it's yardage towards the Yarnathon. Sometimes it's different prizes like a tote, or once I got a sock project bag that had a skein of yarn in it. And the dollar amounts range from $5 to $100. And this one is $50. So one skein of yarn turned into $50 and a skein of yarn. That was pretty great. So that's exciting. A little bit of yarn budget. Anyway, oh, there's some grainy speckles. Can you see that? Oh, this base, by the way, is Twist Light, which is, I think it's 75, yeah, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is what I'm using, this base is what I'm using for my Maytham shawl. Anyway, love that. So that's it for the knitting. Okay, so that's all that I have for knitting. And I think that I'm going to save books for a separate video. I have a lot to talk about in books because I've come to the conclusion that I can either read a lot or I can knit a lot, but I can't do both of those things. And since I haven't knit, I've been reading a lot. But as a result, I think I'm going to save the books for a separate video, either save it till next week or do something separate and upload it individually from this. Because it's a lot. And I want to talk to you guys about these books, but I just need to separate it, and I need to not be sitting here anymore. So with that, everybody, I think that that's all that I have to tell you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support of me and my channel. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're stitching. And as always, y'all, be kind.